Today, I'm going to be sharing with you how I help my client lose over 10 pounds in 3 inches, zero cardio. She tried every fad diet prior. She had a very, very busy lifestyle. And no matter what, she was stuck under 1,000 calories, slowed metabolism, chronic cravings, 2 p.m. fatigue. I'm going to be deep diving into reverse dieting, sharing with you how I helped her eat more food while dropping 10 pounds of stubborn fat. We're going to go through everything to help overcome chronic fatigue and all of my tools and secrets for how to actually get results with a very busy lifestyle. Because the truth is you have a family, you have jobs, and you don't need to spend hours in the kitchen doing meal prep and crazy recipes. And if you don't know me, I'm Elizabeth with Elizabeth Ayler Fitness. I have my 4-year degree in kinesiology, CSCS. I'm a holistic nutrition consultant and a GAPS practitioner. And I've helped over 1,000 women, 40 plus, lose anywhere from 5 to 40 pounds, building muscle, losing fat, restoring their gut and hormones, eating more food. So let's dive right into it. So thank you so much for joining us today, Holly. And what I would love to do is, first off, we're down over 10 pounds. We're eating over 300 calories more a day, and you are a very, very individual. And today, what I want to share is everything that we did with your diet, your nutrition, your supplements. We're going to talk about fasting. We're going to talk about all of those weight loss myths that everyone go to, and a totally different approach that is going to shock so many of you and that I've used to help over 1,000 women eat more food while building muscle, losing weight with, like you, a crazy busy lifestyle. So I would love for you to share a little bit. What were some of your biggest health challenges before coming to me and big goals that you had coming to work with me?
So before I had a couple years back lost some weight and then started to gain it back. I wasn't confident in the gym. I wasn't really following like a solid plan. So I was going 5 or 6 times a week, walking the dog every day, still really active, but not seeing any muscle growth, gaining weight like around my stomach and in my face that I noticed a lot. My legs were not looking like defined at all. I just wasn't confident. So I was like, I need to do something to make a change. I'm doing what I think is working, but it's not working. What else do I need to look at is where I was.
And do you mind sharing a little bit of the different things and the different approaches that you were trying?
So I had tried Whole30 a couple years back. So I was eating whole foods. I took out sugar. I took out dairy, gluten, all those things, which helped initially, but I did it for about 30 days. I lost a certain amount I don't remember how much weight, but it wasn't really sustainable. I learned a lot about eating whole foods and things like that, but it wasn't something that I could stick to like really specifically all the time. So then I had that knowledge, but I wasn't using it. And then in the gym, I had done 80-day obsession and things online during COVID. And then I got myself into the gym without any sort of training. I tried like different apps, but they weren't working. So then I was like, oh, I'm just going to try it, figure something out myself. That did not work because I was just going back and forth. I wasn't doing like a progressive overload or anything like that. So it was just going just to go on my own, and it was not working.
And what do you feel was that missing link? Because I see it all the time. So many women, we get online and there's over 30,000 different diets out there alone. And we try keto or carnivore, we're fasting more, we're doing this app or this trend or whatever over here. And we get those initial results. But I've always found if we don't get down to why we're unable to sustain it, the education, the stressors, all of that, then we end up gaining the weight back on because we didn't make the true lifestyle change while addressing the struggles. So what do you feel were those big struggles that we ended up overcoming and allowing us to lose the weight, continue to lose it, and eating more food in a different way this time?
I think really like sticking to both nutrition and fitness at the same time consistently for 12 weeks and now more because I'm still doing it. You can't just do one or the other. You can't just go and eat really healthy and not exercise, or you can't just go exercise and eat whatever you want. You have to do both together, and that's eating enough protein, that's getting in your fats and your carbs and all of that. And I wasn't getting both of those pieces together because I wasn't aware. I didn't know all of those things. And then also just having like motivators like you and a community and things like that, and a place to track it and a place to go to for help.
And I know one thing too with you is you have a very, very busy lifestyle. And I see this with 90% of the women come to me. We have either 5 kids or we're traveling for work, or I know this was a big thing for us because when we have so much going on, then we feel like we're go, go, go. We never have time for us. Then we're stressed out. Then we don't have time for the food. So could you share a little bit more about if this was one thing for you and how it affected you and kind of made you sometimes, I guess, unable to stick to the nutrition or feel like you're not on track?
Yes, I was meal prepping beforehand for the year previous. I don't think I was doing it correctly. I was kind of making things that made me either feel full or that I enjoyed eating. I was not portion controlling. I was just like sticking things in mason jars that like for breakfast and like putting a thing in a big Tupperware and just, oh, if that makes me feel full or I enjoy eating it, then I'm good to go, and try not to snack. But I wasn't putting the right things in those meal preps. So now I know what to have for breakfast because I'm a teacher. I work out before school. I got to eat, get my protein in after that, go to work all day, have lunch. So I'm able to meal prep where it's the right things that get me through the day and still have energy at the end of it.
And with all these tools, do you feel like it has been able to kind of taken the stress out, or was this kind of creating you that stress around reaching your goals because you just always felt like you had so much going on and overwhelmed?
Yeah, definitely. I would spend like all day Sunday, which is one of my days off, meal prepping, not the right way. And now I've gotten it down, so I don't need to spend all day Sunday doing that. I have everything set for the week. When I get home, I either a couple nights a week I have to cook dinner, but that's fine because I know that the next day I won't or whatever, but it's not as big of a stressor anymore.
And that's my whole point that I wanted to come to with Holly, is that so many of us, we have so many things going on in our life and we have no time to even be with our family because we're working or we're fixing the house. And then we're spending all of our free time trying to spend hours in the kitchen, meal prepping and doing things that aren't sustainable. So over those 12 weeks, I even told you this, we are going to slowly attack it each week. And I'm going to teach you the tools so that wherever you are, the nutrition is like brushing your teeth. And it's so easy with your lifestyle. And then we worked on bringing different things in with time blocking so that you're able to have more time, be less stressed out. That affects your sleep because then you could slow your mind and even go to sleep, which is going to, that's where we make our human growth hormones. So if we're not sleeping, all of these things affect our hormones. And by really addressing the struggles, AKA our busy life and our main kind of things in the nutrition aspect, stress went down. We were able to get you more time. And that's like a big thing. Us women, we look for the fast fix, the pill, how to get there, but we don't look at, hey, what are the big things that are causing me not to reach my goals? What do I have hormone imbalances? Do I have gut issues going on? And we're going to go into everything that we did with your diet. We're going to talk about reverse dieting, so many. So make sure to stay tuned to the end. But I wanted to kind of just come back in and talk about a few more struggles that we're facing before we kind of go into it. So you came to me for weight loss, but we also, a few weeks in, you're like, Elizabeth, I'm having these skin issues. And I struggled with so many rosacea, eczema, I had mast cell activation. Would you share a little bit more about your skin issues and actually how we ended up eliminating them after you were trying everything?
Yes. So I would break out. I couldn't figure out when. I thought it was like around the time of month, but it wasn't. It was just whenever. We decided to take dairy and gluten out to try that. And it really cleared up my skin. I think it helped with bloating especially in like puffiness in my face. That was a huge game changer. I never got like sick off either of those things, but it's not always about that kind of reaction. It's your skin. It's the way you feel. It's bloating, breaking out.
And by making those changes, do you feel like, because our gut, if you guys don't know, that's 80% of your immune system. That's where you're absorbing, assimilating your nutrients. So if you're having skin issues, that is like the mirror of your gut saying, hey, something's up. If you're having a lot of yeast infections, chronic fatigue, thyroid issues, the gut is a main focus. And if we have something in there that's inflaming it, it could wreak havoc on your metabolism. I did a whole video on this. Healing gut, I help people lose up to 40 pounds. But do you feel like that impacted any other aspect of your life, like anxiety or energy about getting that allergen out too?
I think energy too. I used to get to like 1 or 2 o'clock in the day at school and be like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I don't know how I'm going to make it. And then get home and just not want to do anything, which now I've been going to spin class after work. I take my dog on longer walks after work. Like the energy is just crazy. It's a lot different.
I remember you sent me your text. You're like, Elizabeth, I went spinning and I had energy to do it. And that is the key because like I mentioned, and we're going to go into our diet, you're down 10 pounds, but you're eating more food. You have more energy. Your skin is clearing up. Your hormones are balancing out. You're sleeping better. And it's because we're focusing on your gut, your hormones, we're addressing the struggles, we're getting the sleep, all those hidden stressors versus just saying, hey, Holly wanted weight loss. Let's just cut Holly's calories and just run her to the floor. Right, Holly?
Exactly.
And I want to kind of talk a little bit more about reverse dieting because so many women, we think it's as simple as, hey, I've been dieting for so long, my metabolism slowed down, let's just increase the calories and start strength training for a few months. And then I can just cut my calories again and I'm going to see the results. And that is a big myth that, we can just do that and get the results. I was down to 500. I got my metabolism up to 6,000. I eat around 3,000 to 3,500 right now. And a lot of women like Holly, you come to me on very low calories. And my goal is we want to focus on longevity, building our metabolism, because when we cut our calories very low for long periods of time, our body adapts to that. It throws off our hormone. It throws off our leptin, our ghrelin, which is our hunger and satiety cues. So you get cravings, low energy, run down, the metabolism slows. So when it comes to kind of reverse dieting, I want you to share with me a little bit more before you came to me, kind of where your calories were at and how you have felt like that affected you. Was your training for your energy low? Just any way that you felt that impacted you. Sleep.
Yeah, my sleep definitely wasn't good. I think that definitely did affect my energy levels, working out in the morning. Like my cortisol maybe was off a little bit. I don't remember the exact number, but I'm definitely way higher now than I was before. And eating the right things, I think, as well.
Yeah, I know we had some days where we were under 1,000 and you were like, Elizabeth, I don't have the appetite to even kind of get that food in because when we eat so little food is what happens. Our stomach shrinks to that. Think about like the little gastric band and then you try to put more food in and you're like, I'm full. And you get those cues. So it's almost like we slowly built up your metabolism while working on these other things that are key for reverse dieting that I'm going to mention in a second. But when we're on the very low calories, do you feel like this was impacting, or was there any mental kind of aspects of fear of wanting to add in the food, or when I'm saying, hey, we're going to be increasing or throwing things in, because that was something that impacted me so much as I had fear around carbs and food and just increasing my food.
Yeah, I always try to stay away from like carbs and bread. And that's just, I feel like a huge myth. Even though like I went to no gluten, there's still other ways to eat carbs. But yes, definitely, I don't want to eat too much because then I feel like I have to go work out more or, things like that.
And could you share like a few specific things that you feel like impacted you in terms of if you even feel like it kind of helped with your relationship around food and where we are now?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I know what I should eat on a daily basis, but also I'm not afraid to like go out to dinner every now and again or try different kinds of foods. I'm not like, it's not a fully restrictive diet, which some people are like, oh, you're counting your macros, you must not be able to eat anything. No, I can really eat what I want as long as I'm paying attention to what it is, how much I'm eating of it, right? I'm not scared to eat anything. I think that's a huge thing when people do things like this is they're like, oh, you don't eat anything, you can't eat anything. Well, yeah, I really can.
So you feel like it like allowed you to kind of go of fear of food in a sense, this whole experience?
Yes.
And
yeah, definitely.
do you feel it was more so because I get this question, Elizabeth, like how did you get to this place with your relationship with food and everything you did? And it was so many different factors, but I know one thing that I always try to share with you guys is educating you on every different macronutrients, how they kind of function in the body, why we need the different fats for our hormones, and why eating a specific thing so you guys could understand why things aren't bad, fats aren't bad, why we need a certain amount. When things go too low, what happens too, so that you have the knowledge on your body. Do you feel like that was that missing piece, or was it something else?
No, yeah, definitely learning about, I didn't realize I'd need to eat that much protein. I don't think I've ever eaten that much protein. And realizing fats, yes, we need fats, right? And carbs and the amount of calories. I've always heard about it and seen things about it, but I've never put all of it together as that piece. And having those weekly meetings with you and our community, like learning about those things was so beneficial. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I always say it's not what you eat, it's like what you absorb. Everyone's like, okay, get your protein, go grab all and everyone goes and buys all these protein shakes and bars, but that doesn't work the same on your hormones. Like eating a quality piece of bison over here, which is, I had a piece of bison with my breakfast this morning. It was awesome. And that works on our hormones. And then you're full and you're satiated. And then we're taking out the triggers in our diet that are causing inflammation, but adding in in high omega-3s to help with the anxiety down, getting in some bone broth to help with our melatonin, serotonin because of the tryptophan in there. And it's just like getting in our nutrients, healing the gut, balancing the hormones, and getting the stress down. It really allows our body to come to homeostasis and people to get to. In order to get to a healthy body weight, you have to get to a healthy body. And that's what we addressed, all of the externals. And then I just was like, okay, we're increasing your food. And you're like, well, I'm feeling so good over here. Okay, we're just going to do it. See what happens. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
I love it. So we're going to go a little bit more into what we did with your training, your nutrition, all of that. But would there be anything specifically that you found most helpful about the way that I structured your nutrition and your training plan?
Yeah, I like how it started off. Kind of the training program was like stuff that I kind of had already been doing. And then I was actually away a lot the first month that I started, and you were really able to adjust that. And I still felt like I was getting in a good workout. And then it started going like more beast mode. Yeah. And I really started to see like differences in my muscle definition and things like that, and feeling stronger in the gym. And then I think my protein intake and all my macros helped fuel that along the way, being able to like improve.
Yeah. And with your kind of busy schedule, I know a lot of women think they need to train 6 days a week. So as you mentioned, that first month, you were basically traveling the whole time. So I customized you like a band only and a dumbbell only program to take with you so that you can do it fast, effective. How did the program allow for you to be consistent with your busy schedule versus other things you've tried in the past?
Yeah, the 45-ish minute workouts, those are huge because that's basically all the time I have in the morning. And I hate having time as an excuse, but my gym opens at 5 and I have to be on the road by 6:45. So yes, I only had 45 minutes. Having those, even though they're 45 minutes, it's still everything I need to get in for a workout. And then being prepared beforehand, also with like my meals, that has allowed me to get through my days.
We don't need to do 7 days a week. We got to find the right volume for the individual. And this is different between our age, our gender, and we got to take what you love too. So what we did with your training, and then we'll go in through everything with your, how we got you losing weight, eating more food, the diet, the nutrition. But with your training, we want to get enough of that demand. So we're having that stimulus to build muscle, to lose fat, to increase their metabolism. I wanted to get you your hunger satiety cues back. So I wanted to structure your training with something you could be consistent with your travel, because if we're consistent and we're recovering good and we're working on the nutrition and getting the stress down, you're going to start seeing results. And then we were able, over those 12 weeks, while the nutrition and everything became simple, we got you into your home gym. We took it and we applied more progressive over there to really shock the muscles, but fast workouts. And then we utilize steps and movement to bridge the gaps, because you could have cut your calories low and done cardio by yourself. That's not why you're coming to me. You came to me to find the perfect balance so that you're eating more, you're building muscle, you're losing fat, and you created lifestyle to where you're not like, oh, I got to go do 45 minutes of cardio today. What are we doing, by the way, to get you to lose these 10 pounds with your cardio?
Spin.
How many times a week?
I'm doing it 3 times a week.
And were we doing that the whole time or recently?
Probably the last month or 2.
Okay. And you've been out of my program for over a month.
Yeah.
So we lost those 10 pounds using steps with a busy lifestyle, nutrition, and strength training.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. And now we're continuing to increase your calories and we're adjusting that to get you to lose weight. So we're still losing weight while we're eating more food. And now, since we didn't do extremes, we have tools like the cardio to keep you losing this weight because we didn't do anything, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Our body adapts and we go too extreme, too fast as women, as just individuals when we want results, and then our body adjusts and then we don't know where to go from there. I know. Let's go into it. How we lost the weight, lost inches, built your unstoppable confidence flexing, and let's go right into it. So I want you to first tell me, what were your biggest wins over the last 90 days? That it could be your physique wins, but also wins that you didn't even think you were going to imagine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start with like physical and then go into the other ones. So 10 pounds was huge. That's kind of like where I wanted to be, and 3 inches in my waist. So my clothes started fitting better. Like I had clothes that I had worn years before that I was like, oh, those are never going to fit. I may as well donate them, but I kept them. And I'm like, oh my God, they fit again. And just like feeling confident in those types of clothes again. And my muscle growth, my definition in my upper body and like everywhere is just insane. Like I look at myself, I'm like, is that really my muscles?
Yeah, girl.
And then I back to like the taking dairy and gluten out. I feel like I've definitely seen a difference in my face, puffiness and things like that, bloating in my stomach, and then the energy, feeling more confident, toning up in the gym.
And how has that impacted your life, especially the confidence, especially the stress with our busy lifestyle and getting the results, but doing it this way where you feel more energized and you feel sustainable?
So going to the gym is not something that I feel like I have to do. It's something that I want to do because I feel passionate about it. I never dread going to the gym. I'm always actually excited for it, even though it's really early in the morning. It's something that I do for myself every day. And I wake up and that's the first thing I do. So I feel like lucky to be able to do that for me every day. Well, sorry.
Oh, you're
I
good.
lost
I
my
don't
train
know
of
who
thought.
you are anymore. This is like not the Holly that I hopped on day one with. Holly day one was like, I have so much going on, Elizabeth. I am so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. And this is like, I got this confidence, and you feel secure, and you know what you're doing with the nutrition, and it's just, you're going to stay on track because you have the tools.
Yeah, it's not like a chore anymore. It's just part of my daily life. I
Yeah.
don't, even if I miss a day of tracking, I'm like, but I know that I did what I was supposed to do because it's like ingrained.
Yeah, 100%. Well, let's share. Everyone wants to hear what we did with your diet. So as I mentioned, you came to me on under 1,000 calories. We had a lot of stress going on. We wanted to lose weight. I told you I was not going to cut your calories when we have all these psycho stressors going on. We were going to address them. We were going to focus on building your metabolism, get consistent with the training, and build this lifestyle balanced approach. And what we did is I set your macros to your metabolism. Never go off of fitness trackers, guys, watches, and calculators because they are inaccurate. They don't know your metabolism. They don't know your past diet history. I had you track for a few days for me. I got a baseline at where we're at because I'm like, this is what you're eating right now for your metabolism. And then I structured your macros to your body, and we slowly built them up over those 12 weeks as we worked on addressing, like I said, guys, the stress, the sleep, the hormones, all of the other aspects, and getting those on point. Now, with her nutrition, I customized them. I built them out in the app, but I taught you, I said, I am going to make the nutrition like brushing your teeth. I want my clients to know how to eat out with traveling. If they have no fridge, if they have, at a restaurant that has Disney World options in front of them, that they could find something with nothing to aggravate their stomach to help them build muscle, lose fat, and no scale needed. So that's what we did. Each week I hopped on, I go live with you guys. I taught you the tools. And one week we focused specifically on how to eat out with the traveling. I told you, hey, I want you to travel. I want you to do all your craziness while we're together so that you could report back after utilizing the tools, and we can dial in so that after the 12 weeks, you have all the tools for even the hardest times in your life. And that's what we did. I structured your food. I made you different meal options to help fit with your busy schedule that were gluten-free, that were dairy-free, so that you knew how to make that swap too in a delicious, simple way. We cut time out of meal prep. We got fast, easy options. I taught you how to travel and do it so that became easy. And we adjusted the steps, the movement, the training to go with it while bringing different things to work on the sleep. And we did it in a slow, easy way to fit with your lifestyle and balance your hormones and bring it all together. And we kept it simple. I know it sounds overwhelming, but did it feel simple for a busy girl?
Yes, it just became part of my daily routine. And I learned a lot along the way. It wasn't something that I had to be like, oh no, I can't do that. I got to do this, right? It's putting it into my daily life, not completely upending.
Yeah. But did you have any challenges when we were working together? Because I know I always say there's always going to be a challenge every year, and it's how we persevere through it.
I think the biggest challenge was the traveling, but it didn't become like a challenge. I thought it would be a lot harder than it was, but you made it easier, right? You changed my workouts to adapt. You taught me how to focus on proteins at restaurants. I ended up bringing like some of my supplements with me instead of being like, no, I'm not going to focus on that. You can bring it with you and make it easier for yourself.
I'm truly, truly so proud of you. And you've just transformed mentally, physically in so many ways. And I'm so honored to have gotten to work with you. If there is someone in your shoes right now, they have a crazy busy life, they're trying all the diets out there, and they're like, oh, this is another one, nothing's going to work. Like, just what advice would you give them on their fitness journey?
Well, first of all, go see Elizabeth.
I love you.
But really, like the consistency is, I feel like the biggest struggle that people have is they try something for like 2 weeks and they're like, this isn't working. But it's not going to work. Like it's working. You don't see that it's working those first couple of weeks, but it is. And you have to stick with it. You have to stick with both parts. You have to stick with the nutrition and the fitness. And I think the 12-week period, the 90 days was honestly the perfect amount because I think halfway through I was like, oh, I can see changes. It's working. But, and then that motivated me. But then as I kept going on to those final weeks, I was like, oh my God, this has been a huge transformation over 12 weeks. But you have to stay consistent and it's hard, but you got to have willpower, to keep going. But yeah, just having that community to stay motivated, having you to be by our side, and just the consistency is my word. Yeah.
I think what you said right there, that was so powerful because everyone's like, they asked me, do you have a 4-week, when I do my discovery calls, like, do you have a 4-week program or do you just have this here? It takes 4 weeks to create a lifestyle, 4 weeks to create a habit, but 12 weeks to create a lifestyle change because we can get that momentum in the beginning and then you start feeling better, but then the struggle hits, we lose the momentum and we don't have the tools and don't have the habits that have taken place and have created the consistency because we spent our whole life creating the habits to where we get now. And it's going to take time to get there. And that 12 weeks really has been, and that's why I never do 4 weeks, even especially for my gut individuals that have chronic gut issues. I never do 4 because we're just getting into the gut healing. We haven't gotten the gut healed, the constipation, the hormone. We're just in the start. You feel really good, but we haven't gotten healed yet. And you could have a flare up. So it's really those 12 weeks and to really create those habits. I really thought that was powerful that you said that because that's why I do the 90 days.
It makes sense now.
I love it. And I guess one of my final questions would be, how do you feel doing this has, I guess, impacted your life?
I just feel stronger, more confident, have so much more knowledge. I feel like I'm a different person than I was 12 weeks ago. I feel like as a teacher, that teacher in me, I feel like I could go and share my knowledge with others. I still have the passion. It's something, again, like I said, it's not a chore. It's something, it's just now it's part of my life, right? After that 12 weeks, I'm not looking back.
That makes me so happy. My biggest goal is at the end of the 12 weeks that you don't need me, but you just feel so good you refer people to me. That's the key part.
Yes.
I'm straightforward. I always am. Well, I want to thank you so much for hopping on with us today, Holly, and sharing your journey. It is going to inspire someone that they can do anything. They don't have to do extremes, and you could feel you're stronger, sexier with age, with no matter what your schedule is. So truly, thank you again for hopping on today.